I'm Jacqueline Quinn, Deputy Director at DCRAC. I'm here to help you with your housing, tax, or title problem, so give me a call anytime, and I'm happy to meet to see what we can do together.
My name is Joe Gross. I'm the Credit Clinic Director here at DCRAC. I'm the one that would sit down with you, develop a budget, figure out a spending plan, pull your credit report, and see if there's any way we can improve that.
Hi, my name is Lillian Harrison, and I'm the Housing Director for DCRAC. And as the Housing Director, I help people with foreclosure prevention, pre-purchase counseling, credit, and budgeting. And it's absolutely my pleasure to serve you.
Hi, my name is Anthony Doring. I'm Delaware's free tax attorney and the director at the DCRAC Low Income Tax Clinic. If you receive a notice from the IRS, please give me a call as soon as possible so I can schedule for a free consultation.
Hi, my name is Maricela Tovar Rangel, and I am responsible for doing the intake process here at DCRAC. And I also manage the credit union, Stepping Stones Community Federal Credit Union, y también hablo español.
Hi, my name is Christian Pillerino. I work for DCRAC as an outreach director. I enjoy working for community and local families.
Hi, my name is Howard Keener. I'm the Director of Strategic Projects and Community Affairs for DCRAC. I work on human resources, internal policies and procedures, and community development, and also marketing for DCRAC.
Hello, Delaware. How are you? I am Rashmi Rangan. I'll spend the next hour talking about what else? Money, money, money. I am with DCRAC, Delaware Community Reinvestment Action Council, your credit, tax, and housing advocates. We have 3 offices, 600 South Harrison Street in Wilmington, 603 North Church Street in Wilmington, and 20127 Office Circle in Georgetown. We serve the state of Delaware and Delawareans with credit issues. Joe Gross can be reached at 298-3254. We have launched our credit clinic in 1995. We've been talking about savers and smart borrowers ever since. Recently as in last month, we launched an app that is free. Go to the App Store. The app is called Mission 723. Our tax clinic, Anthony Doring, 690-5000. It's the only program of its kind in the state of Delaware. We do not prepare taxes, but if you have an IRS issue, we will represent you before the IRS and all the way to tax court should the need arise. Our housing clinic, foreclosure prevention, Lillian Harrison, 298-3289. If your mortgage is late, please don't wait. Give Lillian a call. Title project, Jacqueline Quinn, 298-3251. Again, it's the only program of its kind in the state of Delaware. If you don't have proof, evidence that you own the property, your land, home, or your mobile home, then you can't enjoy the benefits of ownership. You need to prove evidence. You need evidence of ownership, and that's where Title Project comes in. Just a little about our organization. Our mission is to ensure equitable treatment and equal access to credit and capital. We were founded in 1987, and our initial years were all around the Community Reinvestment Act, demanding that our banking community meet the convenience and credit needs of the community. We continue to do so, but we have grown our portfolio to include providing services in many ways, including Stepping Stones Community Federal Credit Union. We have served the community as a strong consumer advocate, an effective educator of consumer finance, foreclosure prevention specialists, tax advocates, and now as a banker. We help Delawareans comply with their IRS obligations, with their credit obligations, with their mortgage modification, with obtaining title, and of course with building a banking relationship. We are the nonprofit in the state of Delaware that was the first to receive Standards for Excellence. And what is Standards for Excellence? That is, not only do we offer awesome services, but everything that we do, we have strong procedures. Our board is engaged and involved. We have policies we adhere to so that you, as the consumer, can have the highest confidence in our organizational reputation, and you can trust the organization. It's us, the people, that provide the services, but the backbone of the organization, the board, is 100% involved. So let me start with Credit Clinic. It was, as I said, launched in 1995, and if you have followed me over the years, I've been with you on the first Sunday since February 1999. It's been a pleasure growing older with you. You've heard me say the same thing all these years. You have to be an awesome saver, and you've got to work on a great credit score. And that mantra has not changed over the years. It's true, you need to have savings and you need to have great credit in order to take advantage of everything America has to offer to us. Talked about our Mission 723. It's a free app, and it's really a journey, a 52-week journey towards a credit score that'll help you get to that 723 credit score. Now, where did I come up with that 723 number? I don't know. I just pulled it out of a hat. But I pulled it out of a hat about 20 years ago when the credit score model was very relevant and had just become relevant. And we had learned about what made a good score. What was true 20 years ago is true today and will be true 20 years from now. Now, agreed, right now, you could become a homeowner with a score of 660, but we want to not just work towards one goal, but towards a goal where you are in command. And an awesome credit score really shows that you are in control of your finances. So we offer free Borrow Smart classes. Go to Eventbrite and search for Borrow Smart for the days, times. They are regular. So we have one at Church Street, one at Harrison Street, one at Route 9 Library. So these are always there with regularity. And then there are others that come up on our website, dcrac.org. You can look for our calendar and you'll know when we are offering what we are offering. The Borrow Smart focuses on budgeting, on credit, understanding the credit score, credit report, and of course the Truth in Lending Act disclosure. Following Borrow Smart, you have the opportunity to take advantage of Joe and do a one-on-one with him to go over everything so you know exactly where you are financially right now. Once you know where you are, you then decide where you want to go, and Joe will help you build a roadmap for you. So a brochure that we are working on has a little bit about Joe. And Joe joined us as a public ally, I believe in 2015, and stayed on as the credit clinic director. He is a millennial and he is very technically savvy. And as technically savvy, he is so engaged with you when you work with him one-on-one about your technological needs. He'll help you download apps. He'll help you understand what those apps mean. We encourage you to have an app that is a credit score app. It could be from any of the three sources, Credit Karma, Capital One, Discover Bank, so that you are in control. You know what's happening to your credit score. And then as he worked with clients, he realized that folk were so incredibly passionate about their credit scores. They would pick up the phone and call Joe and say, hey, what did I do wrong? How come my credit score dropped today? Yesterday it was 700, today it is 692. What happened? So with that as an understanding of how engaged you can be, is that we have an app for this, we have an app for that. Why don't we have an app to keep you continuously engaged? So Joe invited a app builder. The app builder, Joe, and our team sat down and put this Mission 723 app together. It's got a very rich content. Every week, you get a tiny little push notification that your assignment is here. And you go into the app, you do the assignment. One assignment is a steady assignment. Today is week number 1, save $1. 10 weeks later, week number 10, save $10. But every week there is a tiny little, minute long, if you will, information about things that can help you boost your credit score. It's a free app. So sign up. If you don't like it, you can delete that app. But sitting at home, you can play around and see. One of the things Joe has said, and he wants to express his thank you to every one of his clients, his youth has never gotten in the way of the professionalism that our clients have expressed and really treated Joe with. And Joe, of course, has treated everyone with amazing insight into the wonderful world of money. As a millennial, he does money very differently than me. I do money differently. I am not that into apps or things online. I still like to go out, feel, touch before I buy. I don't order from Amazon. If you know where I'm coming from. We are very different in our approach to technology, even in our approach to money. But ultimately, it's all about two things. Figure out a way to save, and there are a gazillion ways to save. And figure out ways to stay on top of your credit. And technology, amazingly, allows you to do that. So take advantage of technology. Take advantage of somebody who's got those technological skills. He has worked with our clients, helping them set up an email account, showed them how to use an email account, get the Social Security account so they know what's in their Social Security, search for benefits, anything money related. If he cannot find an answer right there and then, he'll get back to you within a week after we've all worked on getting an answer for your question. He's a tremendous resource if you have a money question. Give him a call, 298-3254. His email is jgross, JGROSS, @dcrac.org. Tax Clinic. So Tax Clinic is the only program of its kind offered in the state of Delaware. We do not do tax prep. What we do is tax controversy. If you are in trouble with the IRS, don't be like an ostrich with your head stuck in the sand thinking the storm will go away. IRS ain't gonna go away. So if you have an IRS issue, you need to tackle it head on. And you have a free tax attorney representing you. What do you have to lose? So, just as a disclaimer, if you call us about tax prep, we are going to give you a phone number. We're going to tell you to call 211. We are going to give you the phone number for Nehemiah, or we are going to give you a phone number for DACA, and we are going to say we don't do tax prep. We do receive partial funding from the IRS, but we are not affiliated with the IRS. Your rights before the IRS are unaffected whether you use us or you don't use us. We help you resolve your IRS problems. What kind of problems? Let me give you 4 sample cases, if you will. When the IRS doesn't believe a taxpayer should receive part or all of the refund that they've claimed on the tax return, then the IRS audits the tax return. And when the IRS audits, the taxpayer needs to provide a proof that he or she qualifies for the deductions and credits that were claimed. Another example, when spouses file a joint return showing a tax due, it results in a joint debt. Even if only one spouse had an income. Let me repeat. Me and my husband file a joint return. I have 0 income. My husband is the sole income on the tax return. I am equally liable on that tax debt. A joint debt can also occur when one spouse fails to report all of his or her income to the IRS, and IRS discovers it during an audit. The IRS can collect a joint debt from either spouse. So, we can help our taxpayers file an innocent spouse claim. So, in the example where me and my husband, we filed a joint return, I had no income, or my husband underreported income, I can say I am the innocent spouse. My husband told me sign here, I signed. I don't do anything with money. So that is the innocent spouse claim. If the IRS believes, a third scenario, that someone owes it money, It can garnish wages or social security payments, take money out of the person's bank account, or file a lien. All actions that make it incredibly difficult for you to maintain good credit and in some cases even obtain a job. If money is not owed, we can help the taxpayer get that issue resolved. If money is owed, we can still help the taxpayer with a resolution. Either it is currently not collectible, it could be an installment agreement, or it could be an offer in compromise that is settling the debt. And a fourth scenario that is also quite common for us, and probably you've run into it. You thought you worked as an employee, but at the year end, you receive not a W-2, but you receive a 1099. No taxes were withheld, and suddenly a big tax bill is due. There are many things you could do. You could either, of course, you owe that debt, enter into a repayment plan, or if you want to take on your employer and say, hey, I was not a independent contractor, I was your employee, you could take on your employer. Let me tell you a little about the tax attorney that you would be dealing with should you take advantage of the free tax services that we offer. Anthony Doring, his direct line cell phone number is 690-5000. He is a Delawarean born and raised in Newark. He graduated from Glasgow High School in 1997 and then went on to University of Delaware, where he graduated in May 2000 with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. In the fall of 2001, he flew to Houston, Texas to attend the historically black college university, Thurgood Marshall School of Law, from where he graduated in May 2004. After graduation, he returned home to Delaware. He then got admitted into the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Bar in 2005. He began practice as a criminal law solo practitioner and then moved into family law. In 2011, he was admitted into the Delaware Bar and opened his own law practice, Anthony W. Doring, which now is located 1 block from the Circle in Georgetown. He joined DCRAC in June 2015 as our tax clinic director. Then same year, he was admitted into the U.S. Tax Court Bar. He attends calendar calls in Philadelphia when the tax court sits in Philadelphia and represents taxpayers, formal representation, informal representation, consultations to those who are in tax court with no representation. As the tax clinic director, he's fond of saying, I am Delaware's free tax attorney. He is a proud dad, a passionate soccer coach, and a strong advocate for making Delaware a better place for his family and community. So that is our tax clinic. Now let me move on to our housing clinic and I'll talk about foreclosure prevention. So the housing clinic was launched in 2002 as the Fair Housing Initiative Program, HUD funded, and for so many years we have not received HUD funding. But housing issue remains a priority for us. We have always believed there cannot be fair housing if there was not fair lending. We continue to field complaints about fair housing and then refer them to the Human Relations Commission, where they can file a formal complaint should they believe that their rights have been violated. So what is fair housing? It says, thou shalt not be discriminated in thy search for housing. It could be tenancy, loan, sale of a home, anything housing related, you are protected from discrimination. Then we moved on. 2008 hit us, and foreclosures were going through the roof. We have amazing housing counselors in the state of Delaware. However, there was a huge overflow, and we stepped into that space to provide assistance to homeowners experiencing foreclosures and really very challenged. It could be that they, in addition to everything, they had a title problem, they had a tax problem, they had some other issues. So we got into that space, and we've not yet exited, because while the economy has improved for the rest of the world, as far as our community is concerned, we are still waiting for that break. So we continue to provide foreclosure prevention counseling. If your mortgage is late, please don't wait. Just pick up the phone and call Lillian Harrison at 298-3289. To avoid foreclosure, there are a few options. One is a loan modification. If you have a steady income, then loan modification is an option. What is loan modification? Basically working with your lender and saying, okay, this is where we are right now, and this is where we can be if we both agree. Maybe you can reduce the interest rate for me. Maybe you could extend. I have 20 years remaining on my mortgage. Let's go to 40 years remaining on my mortgage. Do what we can so that I don't have to walk away from my home. So that's loan modification negotiations. In some instances, the reason why you are without an income is temporary, and if that emergency is taken care of, you could get on your way. Then there is a solution that is offered through the state of Delaware, DMAP, Delaware Emergency Mortgage Assistance Program. So those are the only two ways for you to stay in your home. Sometimes if there is no income, no likelihood of income, or there is income but there are expenses that just don't leave you with enough to maintain that home, then you may have to exit with dignity. And some of the things you could do is deed in lieu of foreclosure, short sale, cash for keys, quite a few options even there. For if you are one who lost your home to a foreclosure, or if you know someone who lost their home to a foreclosure, I very strongly urge you to go online, go to Project Rightful Owner, and on that website, search by last name, and you never know. There might be some money in your name sitting with the courts. So go to Project Rightful Owner, search for your name. If you have lost your home, it's possible, could be, because there was a time when there was, in a sheriff's sale, more money earned than was due to the lender. If you're thinking about home ownership, start with our credit clinic, start with Joe. Let me tell you a little about Lillian Harrison. So she joined us in September 2015. She has years of experience in developing and coaching entrepreneurs and community-based organizations. That skill set she brings to her work as foreclosure prevention counselor and getting her clients to persevere in the loophole, in everything, the jumps that you have to go through, the hoops that you have to jump through in order to modify your mortgage. And some people are so ready to give up, and she provides that constant coaching and support, persevere, because every homeowner knows that a home is more than just a house. It is where we raise our family and live our dreams. She pairs her extensive economic development and community economic development experience with a passion for clients and communities. So she sits on many, many boards so that experiences of her clients she can share with those that are in the know and are able to do something about it. She is on Sussex Housing Group. She chairs that group. It is many, many nonprofit organizations that meet on a monthly basis and pool their resources to make an impact in a community in Sussex County. She is president of Diamond State Community Land Trust, which is an affordable housing developer. She has been a board member of Sussex County Economic Development Action Council, which is focused on economic and workforce development. On a personal level, she is a survivor and a strong advocate against domestic violence. Her faith helps define her. She just this year launched Elevated Ministries, and her goal is to help other churches take advantage of resources that exist in the community and offer it to their congregation. She really thinks outside the box. So she had some clients that had income issues and there was no way to get income because of certain problems that our clients were facing. So she came up with a Flagger certification program. And she's designed it, she's offering it to the community. So folk that had spotty records could get certified and earn an income. There was another program that, things that she has done for our clients. So one of our clients in the foreclosure situation really had no option but to sell the home. And in the sale of the home, the client could have conceivably gotten quite a lot of money so that he could have started his new life with a little bit of cushion. However, the client also had some personal problems in he was a hoarder. So no realtor was willing to put that house on the market. She got her team of friends, family together and went and helped that client clean out his house and put the house on the market. So she is a counselor that will go way above and beyond that which our job is, and that is our culture at DCRAC. You are not just a client for us. You are part of our family. If I don't know how to help you, I'm going to pick up the phone and pull and all the strings to see who can I get to help you. That brings me to our title project. Since April of 2015, we have offered title services. Why? Because, you probably know you might be one who's living in a house that you've been living there, your mom lived there, before that your grandma lived there. It's your home, you own it. But when you go to get a home equity loan or to modify your mortgage or to sell the house, guess what? You don't have title. So while you own it, you cannot prove that you own it. So legal title, there are two aspects of it. One is that you lawfully own because it was passed to you either through sale or through a will, and the other is the paper that says you are the legal owner of that piece of land, property, or a mobile home. So So it just fell in our lap. Actually, it was also brought to our attention that many people in southern Delaware had this, probably it could be traced back 100 years before there was title. So we jumped into this issue and found that it's not a southern Delaware problem alone, it is a statewide problem. And we in the city of Wilmington do have quite a few homeowners who don't have title to their home. If you are one of those, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call Jacqueline. Jacqueline can be reached at 298-3251. While I'm on the topic of title, there's one more thing that I want to mention. I have not read anything in the state of Delaware, but across the U.S., there are tremendous title scams being perpetrated. If it is happening elsewhere, I am sure it is happening here as well. Remember the golden rule. If it is too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Title, again, understand it's a bundle of rights. And there you have a right and you have proof that you have a right. So you need to have both. And it applies to land, mobile home, as well as your home. How can you obtain title, or how do you own something? You buy something, or it has been gifted to you through a will, or somehow you own that property. If you're thinking about buying a mobile home, you may want to give Jacqueline a call and have her review and consult with her the documentation that you will be signing, because it's at that time, at the time of the sale, where the documents ought to be absolutely correct. We do not charge a fee for our services. However, in title, there are some fees that you will have to pay if you become a client. So those fees are probate. It can be anywhere from $100 to $300. Deed fees can be anywhere from $50 to $100, and duplicate title fee, which is $50. So these are the three possible fees that you may end up having to pay to get your title work done. Let me tell you a little about Jacqueline. Jacqueline came to DCRAC in 2011 when she was in law school at Widener University. She was a volunteer with Free Tax Prep at Nehemiah, actually. And she wanted to get into tax controversy, and IRS told her to get in touch with us. So she came in. She used to come in on Fridays, and at that time she was volunteering at 3 other places in addition to us. And she gave us 1,000% on the Friday when she came in. She would do our databases, she would review everything, she would look at clients, she would assist Jabri, who was our deputy tax director at that time, with data management, with understanding the issues of the clients that came to us. Anytime we needed any research, she conducted all of that. She instantly fell in love with our culture. We are very open, we are very honest, we are very supportive, we help out. We are a family at DCRAC. It's not a job for any of us. It is our life, it is our passion. Some of us are able to display our passion very easily. Some of us aren't, but passion for you, for our community, for our mission, and for the family we call DCRAC is what binds us together and is what attracts the right people to our table. She enjoys working with clients. She loves client work. She's helped us grow the organization tremendously. Over the years, she has done everything in housing, tax, credit, title, name it. She's worked it. She's admitted to practice law before the Supreme Court of Delaware, U.S. Tax Court, U.S. Immigration Court, because she also took on an asylum case as a pro bono basis. Her volunteerism includes Diamond State Community Land Trust, Office of the Child Advocate, where she is a guardian ad litem, St. Patrick's Center, she is a society member, supporter, DVLS Pro Bono on immigration services for minors, and the Combined Campaign for Justice Annual Cup co-chair in 2016. She is happily married and recently welcomed twins. They are just adorable twin girls. Gosh, girl power. We are surrounded by girls. That brings me to Stepping Stones Community Federal Credit Union. And I talk about Stepping Stones a lot, right? So if you are listening and watching me, then you can become a member of this Community Federal Credit Union. According to a FINRA study, being financially included was associated with a 123% increase in the likelihood of affording $2,000 for an emergency. You know all about our credit union. Let me tell you a little about our share accounts. $5 to open and maintain an account. Free direct deposit of your paycheck, your benefit check, your pension check, your tax refund check, etc. You earn your money on your savings. You earn a dividend. You get access to select ATMs from WSFS, Wawa, all Wawa ATMs, all Royal Farm ATMs. You have club accounts to save for a vacation, to save for holidays, and to save for savings, the 1378 challenge. We offer share certificates, your share CDs, for as little as $125. Loan products, we have a First Step loan. It's a share secured loan, borrow against your savings. Step Up loan, it's a signature loan, up to $5,000. A loan review committee reviews it. Auto loans for new and used vehicles, again, credit committee reviews it. That is up to $15,000. If you're thinking about direct deposit, of course, you have to be a member, and Maricela will go over everything that is required for you to do your direct deposit. Don't pay to get paid. That's our campaign we are rolling out, literally rolling out in a van out there, opening accounts, issuing you ATM cards. So if you take advantage of direct deposit and the ATM card, you don't have to go to a check casher to cash your check. And if you don't have to cash your check, you could, in a year's time, save about $600 to $700. So take advantage. Maricela Tovar Rangel is our credit union manager. She can be reached at 298-3253, and I know our members reach her all the time. Sometimes I go into the credit union at 8 in the morning and the phone is non-stop ringing. You have questions, she is there to answer you. She is the face of the credit union. She is the member relations person. She is the loan relations person. She is the conduit between day-to-day and the board. So she is, as she manages tellers, she trains all of us. Sometimes if I have to get into the credit union to open an account, I make mistakes. She helps me fix my mistakes. She knows what's going on an everyday basis. Give her a call. She'll answer your questions. She joined us in January 2012. That is, we opened to the public on January 6th, 2012. That very week, she joined as a teller. And after she graduated, she was a Howard High School senior at that time and interned with us, stayed on with us as part-time, then full-time, and I don't remember when, but she suddenly became the credit union manager because she was managing the day-to-day operations of the credit union. As a Latina growing up, much like my family, all around family, and when family got together, it was all about food. So her dream is to open a multi-ethnic, multicultural restaurant one day, and it's going to certainly happen. She loves cooking, so of course we enjoy her cooking every now and again. She also assists DCRAC with intakes. So many times she'll be the one gathering all information, doing all the education, reviewing credit reports, credit scores, downloading apps, serving as a personal coach, gathering the requisite documentation and feeding it to, if it's a housing issue, to Lillian, if it's a tax issue, to Anthony, if it's a credit issue, to Joe. Joe and Maricela work as a very strong team, and they are both actually housed at our Church Street office. So if you're not yet a member of the credit union, please become a member. Now I'm going to talk about something that is incredibly sobering. As you all know, 1987, when we were founded because we had conducted a home mortgage disclosure and data analysis and found African Americans were 7.5 times more likely to be denied than a Caucasian applicant for a mortgage. That was the analysis that led to the founding of DCRAC. Well, Reveal, its show on NPR, did a study of several years of home mortgage disclosure data. And Aaron Glantz and Emmanuel Martinez published this on February 17, 2018. And one sentence in there has me still unable to comprehend. And the statement is this: the home ownership gap between whites and African Americans is now wider than it was during the Jim Crow era. The home ownership gap between whites and African Americans is now wider than it was in the Jim Crow era. We are not going to take that statement sitting down. So, here is my challenge to you. Even if you aren't thinking about home ownership, stop by Fridays from now until, I don't know, I don't have an end date yet. On Fridays between 3 and 6, me and Joe will be available for a 30-minute consultation with you. Just stop by at 603 North Church Street and talk about your home ownership dream. And I'll tell you why you can dream and make it real in just a second. If you have some documents together, make an appointment with Joe, sit down. Documents we are looking for are bank statements, rental history, tax returns, pay stubs, or benefit statements. and we'll help you with a realistic budget, realistic cash flow, answer all your questions. Just a few things that you need to know about home ownership. Don't listen to anyone who says you cannot become a homeowner. If you want to become a homeowner, there is only you stopping yourself from becoming a homeowner. Calculate what your income is, gross annual income. Multiply that by about 3 times. That's how much you can borrow. So if you earned $10,000 in 1 year, you can borrow $30,000. If you earn $20,000 a year, you can borrow $60,000. So that is easy. And to say that there won't be a house for $60,000 or a house for $30,000, there are homes for $30,000, $60,000, $40,000, $50,000, dime a dozen. It may not be your castle, but there is a home that you can own in your price range. What might be getting in the way is your credit score, because you really do need a good credit score. With a good credit score, good savings habit, maybe not today, but one day, very soon, within 2-3 years, you can seriously explore home ownership. I really don't want you to believe anyone who says you cannot become a homeowner, because reality is, Google it. A net worth of a renter, if that is $1, net worth of a homeowner is $36. If net worth of a renter is $100, net worth of a homeowner is 36 times. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. All right. So we are going to assume that you are bringing in $1,250 every month. This is going to be my assumption. I'll further assume that for the next 60 years, that's all that income that you will be bringing in, just $1,250 every month. No more, no less. I'll also assume for the next 60 years, your rent payment won't go up by a penny. You will pay $375 a month for rent for the next 60 years. So those are my 2 assumptions. I'm also going to assume that you just aren't able to save a dime. Your savings come from the tax refund check every first quarter of the year, which goes because you were using IRS as a savings mechanism to pay for the heater or whatever. So in 60 years at $375 a month, you would have paid $270,000 to your landlord. Say, I'm your landlord, $270,000. I am richer, and you have not even a dollar saved, right? So the landlord who owned the asset is $270,000 richer already. Okay. So let's take the landlord out of that equation. Same you, earning $1,250 every single month. Same you who's got a little ability to save and not too bad a credit score. And you can explore Habitat for Humanity loan, which is a 0% loan. But we are going to add in some expenses and make it expensive. So you're going to pay $375 for 30 years because mortgages are 30 years. And the remaining 30 years, you're going to pay $200 a month because once you own your home, you still have an obligation to pay property taxes and insurance. And in my assumption, I've said insurance is very high and taxes are very high. Okay. So in 60 years, you, the homeowner, paid $208,000, and we are assuming it was a $50,000 home that you bought. So $208,000 you paid as a homeowner. The tenant, on the other hand, paid $270,000. Can you imagine? Already, as a homeowner, no wonder homeowners have a net worth that is greater than a renter, because the numbers say so. Do this calculation yourself. $275 times 12 times 60. As a renter, you're paying $270,000 in rent, and after 60 years, you own nothing. As a homeowner, the calculation is different, because for 30 years, you're going to pay only $200. Even assuming that the value of the home has fallen after 60 years, you still have, if house is the only thing that you own at that time, that only asset, and it's dropped to 40,000, you're still ahead. You have a net worth of 40,000 60 years from now, when the renter's net worth is, okay, 4,000. So if you are a homeowner, certainly you can build wealth. Maybe not for yourself, but for your children and grandchildren, you certainly can. So stop making a landlord wealthy, start building your own wealth. But all of this comes with caution. What are some cautionary things that you need to do? One is, remember, if it is too good to be true, it is too good to be true. 2, when it comes to money, trust no one, absolutely no one. 3, be smart about your money. You can, if there is $1, you can only do 2 things with it. Save it or spend it. Save. Home ownership is for you. I'm tired and angry at the government, at the system that has made so many changes to what's qualified residential mortgage. It's a sham, it's a shame, and it is to keep us from building our wealth. If we take 1 step forward and 2 steps back, it's not a dance that I want to dance. So, you need to prove this statement wrong. The home ownership gap between African Americans and Caucasians should not be wider today than it was in Jim Crow era. I will see you on Friday, Church Street, 603 North Church Street, between 3 and 6. Just stop by. I'll spend half an hour with you to prove to you that you can become a homeowner. All right, see you next month.